So, game number 3 is gonna be played on Two Rivers. Gonna be having to wait for the UI again. And then we're gonna be getting to enjoy a bit more about the map. Otherwise, in the meantime, there are gonna be some more show matches coming up. As far as I know, there are... where do I have AoE zone? There's gonna be one on Saturday at 20 GMT, Argentina versus Chile. That's 20 GMT, and then Sunday is gonna be at 19 GMT, Mexico versus Spain. There are gonna be probably more coming up like that. Not sure if I'm gonna be doing it live, probably not, because there are usually tons of people doing that live, so not much of a reason to be wasting my time on that. And nobody will be watching anyway, so possibly you could be doing some games on Monday again as an extra session. There is quite a bit of possibility. And then from the main event, not really sure how much I'm gonna be streaming, because yeah, well, that's gonna be probably full coverage by everybody, so I don't expect that it's gonna be any kind of high need for that. So maybe I'm gonna be just gonna streaming the Czech teams, not sure. Maybe could be doing it in Czech, I have no idea, but not really expecting I'm gonna be doing too much of a casting of it, because that's probably not gonna be too much of a purpose. We'll see how it's gonna be shaping up though. But nonetheless, let's therefore go into the Two Rivers, as it's gonna be there for Nick. Right now coming in for the English, and you can see there are gonna be some choke points in here as well, so it's not gonna be completely cut off right now by the waters. So there's gonna be still a way how to get through instead of having to like walk around, and it will be of course quite a bit complicated therefore to even win the game. It will be somewhat of a turbo defensive setup if it actually were the case. But I'm trying to remember if maybe there wasn't the previous version of the map that really didn't have those choke points here and those shallows. So kind of thinking that maybe there was, but yeah, well, doesn't matter. Right now it's gonna be Nick with the Huns. You're going to be having Fanjita with him as somewhat like a pocket, I guess. It's gonna be a bit hard to say what is necessarily a pocket here. It'll be depending on the playstyle, I guess, but it's gonna be the Dravidians. So probably a bit more interested on the water, I guess, and in the water, as you do have, as you can see, decent amount of fishies in the middle that it's gonna be therefore worthwhile to go for the dog. You can see he's already right now looking for it. And the next player is gonna be already saps, and you can see right now this is gonna be making for a bit of a different setup, as it's not like that they will be protected effectively by the teams. It's going to be a whole lot more interesting, as King Boo is going to be from the left rather than to the right. He's going to be playing with the Persians, and the last player on the team is going to be Hallis, and he's going to be playing with the Japanese. And Novel, for him it's a bit unlikely. He'd be liking to be maybe in position of Fanjita or Nick, based on how the rivers are. Yep. Gonna be having to share right now with King Boo. It's really kind of unlucky. Gonna be right now King Boo basically eating his fish, but nonetheless, that's how it's going to be, as all the way to the bottom Nectarie is gonna be already having some first shenanigans with Hallis on the scouts. He's gonna be playing with the Portuguese, and kinda curious if it's gonna be played for the water or if it's gonna be for the organs. The stone was to the left. Yes, another one. Bit easier access, I guess, accessible here through right flank, as in the pocket it's gonna be hidden Mihai with the Burgundians, and that's gonna be a bit of a dangerous, of course, civilization with such a position. Also having some nice stone here. And as well to the top, it looks like that Nick is gonna be having some potential chances here against subs, but nothing really too major and serious, as the first feudal age will be coming from King Boo with the Persian at 23 wells. Yes, since it's gonna be right now boosted by also the fishing boats. And then, by the way, we haven't gotten through the rest of the players on the Romania team. It's gonna be Saps with the Byzantines, and Raven is going to be currently playing with the Berbers. Okay then, Berbers, no. I mean, like, it's always a great civilization. Of course, the camel archers are really quite nicely effective, so you want to be going for them in the first place. Can be just going for extremely powerful castle age with the knights or camels So it is a civilization that does have some really good options. As you can see, last there for feudal age will be from Mihai with the Burgundians, but I'm really thinking he's in an excellent spot here. He really doesn't need to be worried too much. Potentially can be covered by even both Raven and Nectarie actually, and he can be just gonna doing what he wants. Apparently King Boo is gonna be fighting water. Green is so far not too evident. He's at least trying to right now wall off the choky pointy. Otherwise there's not much of a real clue here. So as you can see, Nick is gonna be playing water with the Huns. And then it's not entirely too evident who else is going to be on each of the branches. You can say it now, Nectarie will be there for also helping out. No, and apparently King Boo is gonna be going into it rather seriously. Which kind of begs the question if the Japanese, what is he gonna be exactly doing? So far it's gonna be only a scouty with even a militiaman coming up, trying to probably block the wall in. No, yes, not probably. But trying to block it, he's gonna be at least making sure that even the militiaman is not gonna be coming through all that quickly, but he's gonna be still resulting into the village dead. And 152 hit points, it's not entirely too much. You can say now how quickly he's actually falling, because it's still foundation, so therefore limited armor, and there's still also the way around, by the way. Which is gonna be quite a bit of a dead giveaway since Nectarie went around with a scout, but nonetheless not like it's gonna be needed. And it's gonna be Hallis having quite a bit of an easy and straight way through, all the way through. Okay, but all the way to the right, you're gonna be apparently having some Drush from Fanjita too, as it's gonna be apparently therefore not played. I mean, like on the water, sure, it is important in my opinion, there are plenty of fishing boats, but you can definitely right now take this approach too for the quickie. As you can see, Nick is gonna be having 3 docks and spamming plenty of galleys, variants for red, nothing so much, and on the other side it is going to be, as you can see, 2 docks from saps. He's gonna be trying to help defend with the fire galleys, and considering the close quarters fight is going to be happening here, then the fire ships are definitely having something to them, as opposed to the galleys. That they definitely do. As you can see it now, Fanjita with the Dravidians, trying to make sure nobody's gonna be breaching there too quickly. Just gonna be having to also either control the choke points through the water, or should be invested into a bit of walling as well here, same as right now the Romanians did. Okay, so men-at-arms apparently still making it through on the left side, but by the way also to the right side there is an opening too. Okay, it's gonna be kinda decent as far as idle time, but he didn't really get that many kills as maybe he imagined he could be. The 3 men-at-arms in the enemy army or villages. Probably would have been hoping for a bit more there, but nonetheless. I also have the wall in for the Persian in the middle. Seems almost finished, and we do have right now 9 boats with effectively nothing for blue. He's having literally 0 right now, getting some first fire ships. As you can see, Mihai is gonna be there for castling. He's the Burgundian still, so somewhat to be expected. And I want to be somewhat switching into him to see if he's going to be getting castle and getting some early custodiers. Not yet. Probably gonna be some kind of boom, I guess. Getting like a 2nd and 3rd TC most probably. I'll be somewhat expecting, might be the case. A little bit of a help also by Fanjita. Definitely subs doesn't have too much of a chance here unless there will be some kind of new dog, for example, from Raven, which really does not seem to be coming, so this is gonna be quite an easy victory for the English. And well, considering the Drush is still apparently continuing to the right, and this is quite a clear deal, then looks like it really. Just the Drush is a good investment as it's making for a lot of problems for the Romanians. They weren't entirely expecting that, they were just kind of expecting it looks like a standard simply water warfare. Well, but looks like you're gonna be having much more than that, especially with Hallis kind of just like utilizing the opportunity he was not like given, but simply he has gained for himself, and he's gonna be wanting to capitalize on that even more. even more here. You can say it now. Fletching there on the tower. And it's gonna be fletching less so far. But obviously with the archers in the base, whereas Nectarie not ready for that at all, and he is not even advancing to castle. He is having serious problems here. And considering the water, it's effectively done as well, at least from Blue's point of view. I can say it now, Mihai. They'll be hoping for some kind of counterplay, but really Blue is quite a bit screwed here, unfortunately. Gonna be trying to get probably a gold at the kind of market castle. Looks that way to me, at least for the time being, with nothing much here. Just kind of looking at some random movement on the minimap. It looked a bit suspicious, but it seems like only some hunters here from saps and nothing too much serious. But most of the players are gonna be advancing to Castle Age. Just Nectarie and saps are gonna be the last ones. So basically the flanks for the Romanians are gonna be unfortunately hanging behind. Even though it looks like at least saps is not about to be staying here for too much longer. Gonna be really wanted to get through. No, and so far Mihai, is he committing like more in it? Apparently he is. Maybe a bit surprising to me, but he's still gonna be having a second and third EC anyway. So he's basically booming, and at the same time he's gonna be trying to supply at least a few fish, or some fish productions, therefore some boats, so that he can be helping both himself and Raven with the early economy, even though Raven is gonna be needing some further dock for the increased efficiency. But you're gonna be also heading into gillnets, for example, for Nick. That's how comfortable he is in his effectively water pocket. And then it seems like that Raven is getting knights with knight armor. Demo ship from Mihai. Guess why not? If he's gonna be well hiding it and maybe King Bu not paying attention, it could be somewhat working out. But we also need to be looking a bit elsewhere, as it looks like the archers are not going to be too much annoying here anymore, as they had to be right about now retreating back, or maybe they just died. 18 losses, they probably just died, I guess, a bit earlier in the blue base. As it looks like it also right now teal, or just having so far only a few scouts, but I guess it's gonna be a little bit more serious as time is gonna be moving forward. But yeah, well, the water here seems to be somewhat effectively done. I don't think there's gonna be any kind of further progress here, at least on the right one, sorry. And though there's gonna be some attempt at aggression by Raven. We do have currently, for example, on the villages, by the way, Mihai at 56, but you do have, for example, Nick at 62 with the water, 51 for King Bu. So that's gonna be the pockets. Hallis and Fanjita are gonna be at 47, 48, whereas you do have, for example, Nectarie at only 25. Yeah, he really got murdered, unfortunately, by Hallis. No, that's gonna be really good kind of reason to believe that, well, the left flank might be, don't want to say really fold in, but might be really going quite a bit well for the British. But really it depends if maybe right now Raven is not gonna be able to do something similar here in the middle against King Bu. So it's right now defended so far only by the palisades. Only by the palisadas, so otherwise the 45, 65, oh well, the economy is at this point again quite a bit better for the British. Yeah, doing pretty well here. So we are gonna be right now waiting for the castles to be reached by the last two players. The flanks for Romanians, saps and the Nectarie. Otherwise you're gonna be breaking through, but it seems like already King Bu is gonna be just kinda barely getting ready with some of the first camels, with only bloodlines as an upgrade. As for even with the Berbers, he's gonna be at 1 and 2. So rather well playing. Obviously right now Palisade Gate is not gonna be entirely something that can stop the 90s, but it can at least give a bit of time. So for some preparation, I guess. No, and you can see King Bu is gonna be able to handle the problem that has been presented to him. Not like fully yet. You can see he has still a few more knights, for example, to the top side. And he's gonna be able to do so with also quite a few kills here. And that's gonna be, if I see it right, about 10 villages maybe even destroyed here. It has been quite a bit more serious raiding than it maybe actually seemed at first. As well, while on the water we still do have a serious fight It looks like the land is also not entirely lagging behind. And Raven at only 38 villages, so it really is gonna be somewhat fitting. Those 10 villages killed, as I mentioned earlier. And the British definitely quite well prepared for the Nations Cup 2023. Hosted by Huapacoyotl, Akkal, no, Paradox, enmipho, and Raptor. What is right now on last logo? Welcome to Rapture. Welcome to Rapture, rather. So I'm guessing fan of Bioshock, maybe. But well, we also do have a bit of a development here on the flank. That's gonna be there for Saps and Fanjita just blocking each other effectively. So nothing too serious yet. But Imperial Ages at the same effectively time. That's gonna be a little difference, but nonetheless. Trebuchet Wars are gonna be probably coming therefore to the right flank. Same as right now, Hallis is just like pushing his advantage with the crossbowman, and he's gonna be having a second squad coming up with, much more importantly, also further support by the knights, as Raven wasn't able to do much here. And Mihai obviously doesn't have that much of a big army in the first place, and most of it is currently focused still on the water, which doesn't seem to be going too bad, considering that King Bu is ignoring it. At this point, I think it's not much of a problem. Just the Japanese could be probably liking to keep some of the fishing, considering the Civ bonus he has. But nonetheless, it's not gonna be the end of the world. It's not really that important anymore, considering, for example, Nick at 128 villages, 78, 85 for Hallis and Fanjita. King Bu only one a bit lower at 58, but they have 87 for Mihai the most, and then 250s, and then Nectarie at 27 for the Romanians. So the advantage on the economy is quite a bit evident, unfortunately, for the Eastern European, or kind of Southeastern European nation. Okay, so it doesn't seem like there's gonna be anything further currently. This has been handled, but new armies apparently coming in, and there is still the opening that hasn't been plugged. Can say now still no further upgrades, by the way, on purple, as you're gonna be at an Imperial Age also for Nick and for Hallis. We have also Fanjita through with saps. Okay, so that's gonna be the right flank. No, and there's gonna be some assorted, you can see, economical upgrades here and there between the players. For example, also stone mining for Nick, which is interesting slightly. Guess it's gonna be on to drop some castles somewhere. But yeah, well, seems like it currently Teal is gonna be facing against some losses, whereas all the way to the right, yeah, well, classic Trebuchet War going down with 2 castles against 2. Seems like it right now. Red probably shouldn't be having too much of a problem with this. Whereas through the bottom, it looks like at Hallis is gonna be having some slight challenge with, you can see some scorpions coming after him. Some serious shots coming through, as the other party obviously is gonna be maybe a bit of a surprise for Mihai. But shouldn't be too much, because obviously Blue saw it a bit earlier, who is, by the way, himself getting a bit raided. And while obviously the siege weapons are quite a bit nice against the archers or the crossbowmen, yeah, well, just a few knights are gonna be meaning you're not gonna be able to get that anymore. Currently green at 115, but it seems like he's gonna be also the one who's gonna be the first to call a GG. And that basically means that right now, therefore, United Kingdom are gonna be getting the victory in the match. But it doesn't mean that we are going to be over, because the show match is played on all 5 games, and therefore we're still going to be having 2 more to be streamed and to be looked at. So let's therefore put 3-0 onto the scoreboard for the English and British and Welsh and whatever that are all within the team. And let's therefore at this point have a look at maybe some of the villages we have just kind of seen. 111 for Fanjita, Nick is gonna be at 139, 88, 84 for the other players, and for the opponents the most 114 for Mihai, but then you do have the 60s, 70s, and of course Nectarie effectively not existing too much at 20. Did he manage to get a castle? No, he did not. So therefore can't even be getting, for example, organs, which usually do not require such a strong economy. That 1 TC play and 1 castle play, but not even that was of course allowed for him this time, as apparently Fanjita was looking for the relics. There's 1 to the left. Another one here that also could have been picked up. But yeah, I guess let's therefore have a look on. Also the military, 43 for Hallis. Nick at 38, obviously on the opponent's side. Mihai at 15. And that's gonna be mostly on the water here. Oh, at least half of that. 10 for saps, then 5 and 3. 11s for Fanjita and King Boo. Plenty of that all around. And therefore let's have a look onto some of the upgrades. Subs for the Romanians. He's gonna be having the first line of the echo. Otherwise on the military there's practically nothing, just you can say. Now the pikemen prepared. Otherwise I was hoping that that maybe fast Imperial Age is gonna be saving him and allowing him to still somewhat continue playing. But it wasn't going to be the case. No, and for the other players that's going to be there for Raven with the Berbers. He was trying to at least go for some early push, but just didn't work out and didn't prove to be the game changer. You can see economically it wasn't too terrible though. You can see second and first. Mihai with the Burgundians seriously low. He was disrupted in the fact, in my opinion, that he in the end had to be fighting the water. If he didn't have to be doing that, he would be having, no, by this time maybe Imperial Age and some Paladins possibly, who knows. But of course, quite excellent play on the left side against Nectarie by Hallis. It was what somewhat broke the game for them. Here at least on the left side I can see no economical upgrades. It's gonna be only fletching. Nothing much more for some of the, you can say, no archers and even the tower. And for the opposing forces, it will be there for Hallis with the Japanese, who's gonna be excellent on the economy. Not having right now the gill nets, as obviously they were getting pushed off by Mihai. But otherwise the archers also well upgraded, missing, interestingly missing ballistics, but having the thumb ring. Well, that has been a bit of a thing the past like year in the community. As then the Persian, he's gonna be a bit low, but he was going for a stronger castle age. It's kind of forced into it by Raven, and in the other pocket it's gonna be the Hun. Full economical upgrades, quite the power here. He was already going for Paladins, you can say it now coinage even on top of it. And then it will be just gonna missing the attacking upgrades for the cavalry. And the last player is going to be Fanjita with the Dravidians. Also excellent economical upgrades, as you can see, missing just the hand card and the stone effectively, but we don't talk about the stone. And I guess that's gonna be there for it. You can see even Masons, of course, needed the hit points on the castle there. No hoardings, for example, ready for subs. But we were getting also infantry upgrade for Fanjita. Getting some pikemen, squires, and on top of it, also armor. And let's, I guess, have a look into the statistics. Something curious here, just Nick having massive economy and therefore from that also the score, like seriously high score. Mihai having good economy as well, but military is gonna be King Boo's. I mean, like he was getting plenty kills from Raven and also, no, both military and also villages. That's where he was coming from mostly. Also having, on the water it wasn't kind of like most, was it? Actually it was mostly him as well. Yeah, it was also mostly him, that's also where he was getting the kills. On the fishing boats and everything. Always being with the one with the army because of the archers. No, and then here therefore, so Nectarie versus Hallis. It's gonna be kind of hard comparison. You can say it now some 6.5 and 6.5, so it's gonna be 13. $13.5 or 13 and 2, but like 15,000 resources more for Hallis than for Nectarie. Way too much of a massive difference. There are pockets, that was King Boo and Mihai. 500, it's gonna be there for 3,000, 3.5, and 15, it's gonna be 2,000 resources more for Mihai. It's not too much, even at only 32 minutes of game time. So far the game is definitely a bit shorter maybe than you'll be expecting from 4v4s. But yeah, well, he can be getting, of course, quite a bit longer one in some of the other matches are gonna be coming later. And here, of course, just like some fun show matches, and much more importantly, practice for the teams to kind of know what to work upon and where to improve. So for the other team, that's for the other flank rather, Fanjita and saps as the flanks. That's gonna be 5, 7, 6, and 2. So it's gonna be like 8,000 resources more for Fanjita than for saps. No, and Nick versus Raven is gonna be kind of nasty. That will be 7, 16, and 4. It's gonna be like 20,000 resources for Nick than for Raven. That's pretty brutal. That was a good boom by Nick then, over there. I can see only 4 researches for Nectarie. Yep, well played by Hallis. Just kind of like sidelined him quite a bit early in the game. Yep, looking for the relics, we have seen that, and GG.